So I've been taking a lot of photos with my mirrorless camera. You probably have as well. And sometimes I take for granted that I can take so many photos in a second. And sometimes I come home with 1,000 photos from a shoot with only about 15, 20, 25 usable photos. And sometimes that takes away the fun, or I guess the experience in photography as an art. And that reminded me of back in the day when I was a kid, when I played around with my dad's film camera. And you wouldn't get to see that photo right away. You get to see that photo maybe a month, 2, 3 months after you filmed that roll. And always reviewing the photos a couple of months after the fact, it was such a cool experience. And that's something that I feel that we're missing today with modern cameras. But other than that experience when I was a kid, I have never shot in film. So I started researching beginner film photography cameras that wouldn't cost an arm and a leg. Go in, probably get a point and shoot or something like that.
Problem is that I have no knowledge about film photography, which camera to get, how to develop them, how you digitize them. So I really had to do a lot of research.
I found the Kodak Ektar half-frame film camera.
Unlike this mirrorless camera, this is the Kodak Ektar H35. It is a half-frame camera and super light compared to this. It's called the half-frame camera because it shoots 2 exposures in 1 frame. So for example, if you have a film roll of say 36 exposures, you're able to get 72 out of this because it's taking a photo in just the 1/2 of a frame. And if you are enjoying the vibe that you get out of this video right now, stay tuned. I'll be talking about this little camera in a future vid.
One thing to keep in mind with this camera was that because it's a half-frame camera, the framing is a little bit different. So I can be holding the camera like this in horizontal mode, but I'm actually taking a photo in portrait mode because I'm using 1/2 of a frame. If I wanted to take a photo in horizontal mode, I'll have to turn the actual camera to portrait mode. So it's a little bit confusing, but once you look through the viewfinder, you'll understand and you'll know which orientation you're in. You get a little viewfinder, a frame counter. There is a built-in flash that you can use for low light situations, and you power that via a AAA battery. You're able to enable that by just turning the front dial here to flash mode, and then next time you take a photo, the flash will fire. This camera has a fixed focus and a focal length of 22 millimeters, which is great for street photography. It has an aperture, fixed aperture of f9.5, so it does not make this great for low light photography unless you use the flash. That can help a little bit. And it has a fixed shutter speed as well of 1/100. So with that in mind, this is a very basic point and shoot film camera. It doesn't even have automatic settings because everything is already set. But that's actually something that I'm enjoying a lot after having been using this camera for about a year. So there is something about just going out and grabbing a photograph, a frame at a time, knowing that you only have limited frames and you can't just go and shoot a bunch of stuff and go home and see which photo you like. I feel like with this camera, whenever I take it out, it's so small, I can put it in my pocket. Whenever I see a frame, I like it, I take it out, take a photo, and see what I get a couple months later. It has really slowed me down when it comes to framing a shot and to just enjoy the moment when I'm taking a photograph. A year went by and I finally got these photos digitized, and I am really loving the vibe that I'm getting out of these photos. I was severely underexposed in a bunch of shots, and in certain instances, the camera was not able to capture anything at all because I underestimated its low light capabilities, even though to my eye and compared to a entry-level modern mirrorless camera, I felt that it could have been okay. But remember again that this does not have any exposure controls. But at the same time, it was fun going over all the photos that I got back. So for this is too close up here. For my first roll of film, I actually ended up opting to go with the Kodak Gold 200. And after that, I got a cheaper roll, a Fujifilm 200, I believe, daylight.
So the Kodak Gold film definitely gives you a warmer vibe, whereas I find that Fujifilm, the 200 that I got, it's a little bit more on the cooler side, but also a little bit more grungy or edgy. And I guess that's another thing with film photography, is that you're able to experiment different looks in your photographs depending on the type of film that you get. It can get expensive because, you know, different films and just developing everything will be expensive, but it's going to change the way you take photos. So I may look into other film cameras in the future, something that gives me more control, perhaps manual adjustment or the ability to swap lenses. So I have no idea what to get. I'm a complete newbie when it comes to this. So if you know any cameras that I should look into, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about that and continue my journey in film photography.
Each frame sort of brings back the memory of the moment when I was taking that photograph. And I look at it, I enjoy it, and I think back on where I was at that time and the feelings and the emotions that I felt at that time. And it's definitely an experience that is completely different from a mirrorless camera, or from a DSLR, or from taking a photo with your phone. Another thing too that I enjoy about using this camera is that I don't have to go home and mass import a bunch of photos into Adobe Lightroom and go and try to edit them all quickly to post them online. I don't need to drop my Lightroom presets on all of these photos. I don't even have to edit these photos because they're just great. They just have character. They're just so vibey the way they are. With film photography, I feel like I can just take my time, enjoy the moment, and capture it to see it later on and not to post it on social media right away. So anyways, that's it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it and that this video has inspired you to pick up film photography, to try it out, and to just slow down your photography. If you are already in film photography, again, let me know in the comments below what should be my next step up for a film camera. I would love to find out and just continue in this journey of film photography that I recently started on. If you're still watching, here are a couple more videos you could watch next. I appreciate you, and I'll see you there.